Hello, hello. Welcome to Precious Moments right here in our kitchen, as Sanka Delight it is, and I'm Jackie Ankra. Stop everything you're doing. Draw close, real close, because I've got something I want to tell you. The dish we're about to prepare is the favorite of my guest, and my guest is Gena West. Hey, come on, Gena. Hello.
Hi.
It's nice to see you in your bright green.
I know. Green is in this year.
Yes, I was going to wear something green, and then I thought, okay, no, I'll wear something pink and blue. So here I am in my pink
lovely.
and blue.
Lovely.
You like it?
I absolutely love it.
Oh, I love what you've got on. I love the belly. Can I have your belly instead of mine? What are you making for us today?
I am making a red Thai prawn curry. Very simple. But
Sounds exotic. I like the sound of it.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me, how long does it take to prepare?
Well, I'm notoriously very quick in the kitchen.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you cook a lot?
Yes, not a lot, but I like cooking, and I've been cooking since I was 7 years old.
What have you been up to lately?
Well, I just came back from South Africa last night, in fact. Oh no, night before last. And lots of promos around the new single that I've got.
I've seen your new single.
So there's a lot going on. There's a lot in the pipeline.
So it's inspirational music these days? Or?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's always inspirational with me.
It used to be gospel.
Well, it's not always strictly gospel. I still do that. That's who I am. That's what I believe in. But the most recent song is a song called Che Che. And it's a song with lots of attitude, but lots of inspiration.
So why don't you run us through your ingredients?
Okay, so let's start. I mean, this is just rice, okay? Because when you have a prawn curry or anything like that, I think that the best thing to go with it is something like rice, a nice staple. But what I've done is I've chosen long grain white rice with wild rice. So that's the rice. Now, your base for the curry. I have here some ginger, okay? And I'll show you the amount you need. You need about this much of ginger.
Just 1 clove, is it? No,
yes, it's like
half, a third of a clove. Really,
there you go. Now I tend to like to use this, the asanka.
I
actually do. I must admit, when I'm at home doing this, my trusted helper, Gloria, does. Let's cut it up a little. So we're going to cut it up a little. So can you see? Can you see what I'm doing? I just chop it up like roughly, and I throw it into my asanka. Okay, so that's the ginger. Then a red chili. Okay,
just one red chili.
Just one red chili, because otherwise it's really too much. And I'm trying to cook for all tastes here. So again, I just literally cut it roughly. Throw that in the asanka again. And then I'm going to add a little bit of seasoning in there, just so that it's not so bland. You know,
one tiny cube of it.
Just one tiny cube. Now, there are lots of ingredients. The main ingredient, I would say, is coriander. Okay, so coriander we can get here. This is local, fresh coriander. I believe in fresh ingredients, Jackie, because I think it makes the difference. I mean, you can, of course, go and buy your curry paste in a jar, but no, we're not going to do that today. We're going to make it from scratch. So you put a whole sort of bunch of coriander. I'm going to leave some for my garnish. So I put a bunch of coriander in there. I have also got some tomato paste. Yeah, so it's just tomato puree. About this much of it, so not too much again. So there, so we're going to put that in there. Okay, let's put this.
I never saw tin tomato going on a asanka.
Now, let me tell you
new every day.
my secret ingredients. Well, they're not secret ingredients. This is what makes it a Thai prawn curry. Okay, so this is a fish sauce. This is just fish sauce. So it's a bottle of fish sauce, and I'm going to again put some of this in there. So
how much do we do?
So I'm putting 1 tablespoon, a nice tablespoon of fish
generous
sauce.
Tablespoon.
A generous tablespoon of fish sauce. I've also got here some soy sauce. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of that in. So let's see, what else do I have? I've got sesame oil, that's the other one. So that's soy sauce, so there was fish sauce, soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of this. There we go.
Can't have a Thai dish without soy sauce.
You can't. You can't. And this is sesame oil. So it's not ordinary vegetable oil or anything like that. It's toasted sesame oil. Delicious. It smells fantastic, and it makes all the difference. I'm putting 1 tablespoon of this in there. Well, not quite a tablespoon, but yes. So about this much of sesame oil. Okay? I don't really like to cook with too much oil. That's probably my secret as well.
I was going
There
to
you
say
go.
that explains
I'm just
it.
going to wipe my hands here. Okay, so the other ingredients are kaffir lime leaves. I'm going to show you what they look like. And if anybody's wondering, well, kaffir lime leaves, what's she talking about? You can get them in the supermarket. You can, because I bought these
in a good supermarket.
here. In a good supermarket, you can get them. And if you really don't have or can't find it, secret, you can take lime and you can grate the lime so that you get the rind, not the white bit because that's bitter, just a little bit, just one small lime, and then like half a lime, a thing of lime juice. That's it, and that'll give more or less the same sort of essence. Okay, so these are kaffir lime leaves. I prefer to use these because then that's authentic. So this is what they look like. Yeah, so it's just leaves basically, but they're dry. Okay, it's not bay leaf. I've had somebody go and put bay leaf. It's not bay leaf. It's kaffir lime leaves. So we're going to put that in there as well. Okay, so we're going to grind all that together, and the final ingredient is lemongrass. Now, I know you can get fresh lemongrass here as well. I know some people who grow it. My mother has it in her garden. But this is the dried variety.
And it drives mosquitoes away. So.
And it does. And so you can get it locally, yes, but you can also get it in a jar like this from a supermarket. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I'm going to chop that up so that it's easier to grind. Trust me, when you grind this up, it is authentic. It's incredible. I'm just going to chop it up here. I'm just going to slice it.
And your help usually does all this?
Yes, I tell her what to do. I sort of give her the ingredients and I say, can you, I put them in the asanka. Gloria. And Gloria just goes, does her grinding. And she's just as muscly as me, by the way. She really is. Okay, I'm going to do this because that's easier. And there you go. So we've got all our ingredients. They're in the asanka. Yeah?
Okay, so grind.
I will, but before I do, Gloria normally does this. I'm going to put my apron on.
I think
is that
you should.
okay?
I think you should.
Okay.
It smells really nice.
It is. It's amazing because they're fresh ingredients. They're, you know, you're making it from scratch. When I was in England, I would buy it from a jar. And then I realized that actually that's not so necessary. You can actually make it yourself and it's much nicer.
So there's certainly a lot to learn about this guest, her days in England, her music, her family, her life, and a lot more. What you've got to do is stay right where you are. We'll be back after the break.
I used to rely on myself. Never would have seen me cry. No, no. Thought all I needed was a sense of purpose. Didn't need nobody else to make me fly. As I watched the sand escaping from the hourglass of my life, couldn't see way ahead of me what I was meant to be. Sailing high above my circumstance, I was afraid to fall, to face my own reality. I couldn't hear his call. Gotta say no past.
It's an exotic kitchen today. Asanka Delight is brought to you by Indomie. I'm Jackie Ankara. My guest is musician Gena West. Are you anything else apart from a musician?
I'm an actress, I'm a presenter, I'm a, you know, yes.
You're a busy woman.
I'm a mummy.
Ooh,
So
mummy of how many?
3 boys.
Three strong boys.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yes,
nice.
mother of sons.
They keep you busy.
They really do, and they like their food, so I have to know how to cook.
They know that the way to a man's heart is his stomach already. How old are they?
Well, Christopher is 16, he's going to be 17 in September.
He's a
Benjamin
big boy.
Benjamin is 14, just in the middle of exams, bless him. And Gabriele is 2 years old. Just trying to potty train him. He's a baby.
So what have we got now?
Okay, so we have finished grinding away, and this is our curry paste. So I'm going to put this in the bowl, in this bowl here, because I'm a little bit anal. I like things organized, otherwise I just find it difficult. Okay, super. Now, before I start chopping the vegetables and before I start on the curry, what I'd like to do is start boiling the rice, because that takes a good 18 or so minutes to cook, and by then I'll be done with the curry. Okay. It's a quickie. It's always quick with me when it comes to cooking. So I'm just going to put this here because it's rather hot. So I'm going to put the rice in here. I showed you the rice earlier. That's long grain white rice with wild rice because it looks pretty, smells delicious. I'm going to add some salt in there. Let's put this here as well. I'm going to add some salt. Now what I've got here is some sea salt. Okay, sea salt are slightly larger grains. I'm going to add a little bit of both, you know. I'm going to add some sea salt in there. I just like to cook with sea salt. I'm going to add some of this so that we really do bring out the flavor. Not too much. Whoops. You can see I'm all sort of free hand. That's how I cook. Okay, should we use this? Yes, we'll use this one. Okay, I'm just going to give it a little stir. Make sure I've got enough water in there. If you don't mind just passing me that kettle. I will add just a little bit of water. There, just to make sure it's al dente. That's another Italian word for you.
Al dente.
Al dente. So that means that it's not soggy rice. So now what I'm going to do is start chopping up my vegetables. I'm going to chop up the vegetables and then I'm going to put some oil in the pan. The pan is pretty hot. So I've got some carrots here. See, I'm slicing the carrots lengthways, sort of diagonally first, and then because this is the sort of shape that I want for the carrots. Yeah, so I want them to look like moons, like crescents. Okay, so I'm just going to do the same thing with this. Okay, and we're just going to go like this. I'm going to pour some olive oil in there. Okay. You can use vegetable oil. I like sunflower oil.
But olive oil is Italian, isn't it?
Olive oil is Italian. It's just what I had in my cupboard. Okay, so I put not too much. You can see it's not too much oil. Okay, because again I say I'll add some if I need to later. I'm going to wait for that to get a little bit hot. I'm now going to use some green pepper. Now what I like to do is I like my vegetables not too big, because otherwise, I don't know, when you're eating you're like, ooh, right?
But how about cooking? You don't want them overcooked. So
no, you don't want them overcooked, but with the curry, it doesn't matter so much. It doesn't matter so much because it's not as if it's a sautéed vegetable dish. It's a curry, yeah? So it's a sauce-based dish. So I don't like to put too much green pepper, so I'm just going to use that much. I don't know if you saw that. That was about
half,
three quarters of it. I think my oil is really hot now. In fact, what we're going to do, I'm going to take my onions. I can use the same spoon, that's fine. It's going to be very hot, so I'm going to pour this in here. Now, onions. I didn't say onions were the ingredients. Obviously they are. Any sauce base has onions. So I've got an onion here. It's about half the onion, or you can use about 8 shallots. Yeah. So shallots are the tiny little onions, and I just like the. I'm going to use the spoon again if that's okay, because it's just the rice. So now I'm just stirring that so that it doesn't burn. We don't want it to burn. And what I'm doing is I'm caramelizing it just a little bit, so that it really brings out that flavor. So while that's cooking for a couple of minutes, I'm going to chop up some more vegetables. So these are green beans. Now green beans, I just literally just slice them like this. So I take off the ends. This one looks
like French beans, if you like.
Or French beans, yes. And I'm just going to slice them again so that they're not too big, but they're big enough to feel in your mouth.
And to chew on.
So I don't really like the ends, so I push the ends away. I'm going to add a couple more there, but first I'm going to stir this. It's all about multitasking, isn't it, Jackie?
It is indeed.
So this is zucchini, yes? So this is courgette, as I call it in England. And what I'm going to do is, again, I'm using about a third of it. Because I just don't want
That's a fat courgette.
It's because it's rather large. Because it's rather large. If it was a small courgette, good question, then I would use, obviously, probably the whole thing. But because it's so big, I need to cut it, smaller. That was all we could find in the supermarket. So I'm just slicing it. Again, it's just roughly slicing it to a size that you feel comfortable with in your curry. Okay, I'm just going to add it to the vegetables because I'm going to throw them all in at the same time. So these are my vegetables. So here, I'm going to throw that in there like that. Okay, so these are our vegetables. Now we're going to add our curry paste. Okay, because I want to saute those as well. So that's the curry paste. I'm going to add the whole lot in there. Yeah, the curry paste. The whole lot goes in there. Okay, I'm going to mix that up. Can you smell it?
I can.
Fabulous. So this is the curry paste. So it's not burning, so it's fine. I really don't want to add any more oil. I'm going to leave that spoon in there. I'm going to take my tomatoes. I've got about 5 of these, sort of medium-sized Ghanaian tomatoes. Here we go. So I'm going to roughly chop this. See, what you don't want is to have it sort of evenly, looking so even, and not necessary. Okay, sometimes I think people can take so long cooking and chopping and trying to get it perfect. Not necessary.
But the age gap between the second and the third is quite huge. What, did you plan that deliberately, or?
Oh yes, because I wasn't, well, I thought 2 was perfect, you know. So I'm just going to do this and throw these tomatoes in there. Okay, here we go. I'm going to leave that to cook just for a little while. I'm going to keep stirring. I'm going to get the other ingredients ready.
And how's our rice doing?
I'm just about to check. I'm going to use a little fork and have a check. No, it's fine. Absolutely fine. Fine.
You like it?
Okay, yes I do. It's not quite cooked yet, but it's getting there and it's not too dry. So I don't think it's going to burn. So now, our prawns. Now, prawns, I don't like the tiny little shrimps. I think it looks stingy. So I like prawns that are quite large. And what I tend to do is I will slice through like that, just so that it opens up a little. Okay, so when you cook it, it opens up a little. I've washed this already. I'm now going to season it, just pouring out some of the excess water. And now we're going to season it. I'm going to use, again, a cube to season it, and then I'm going to add some salt and pepper, because I think salt and pepper bring out the real flavor in food. Okay?
Not the duo.
Salt in particular. Salt in particular. So there's that. So I'm going to use my sea salt. So this is sea salt. I'm going to take just a pinch of sea salt and sprinkle it around the prawns, okay? Because that's going to bring out the flavor. I'm also going to use some black pepper. I prefer freshly ground black pepper because, again, it's just better, you know? It's fresher. So I'm going to grind that, not too much. There we go. And now I'm going to mix that up. I'm going to use our spoon that we used already to mix it up, okay? So that I don't have to try to wash my hands. Here we go. So that's the prawns. I'm having a glance over. We're almost ready, you know. We're almost ready because prawns don't take too long to cook.
No, they don't.
Okay, so I talked about our coconut earlier on. I am not going to break this and grate it. I'm going to use this. So all I'm going to do is pour that in there. So that's just coconut milk. That's from a can. And there, you can hear that. It just shh, because it was hot enough. And now I'm going to make that. You don't want your fire too high. You don't want it too high. So I just clean up around me. Because if it's too high, then guess what? It begins to coagulate. And you don't want that. So what I'm doing is I'm stirring so that the coconut milk dissolves completely. Now I'm going to taste a little bit of this, but not before I've added
more seasoning.
Yes, a little bit more seasoning. Okay, so that's actually for the curry. Okay, because we haven't seasoned it at all. I don't know if you've noticed. We haven't seasoned that at all. So this is all I'm going to add, and again some salt and pepper.
Okay, so it's looking really good.
It is, it is. We're getting there. So I'm going to stir that, and then you can have a little taste. But not before I've added my secret ingredient.
Oh, there's another secret ingredient.
Yes, and it is a secret ingredient because people will look at me and say there's no way she eats sugar. Well, I generally don't, but a pinch of sugar, in this case we'll put 2 pinches, makes all the difference.
Oh, I'm trying to go off sugar these days.
But do you know what it is?
I want to be like you.
Well, the thing is that this takes away the aftertaste of the tomato base. Because sometimes that can be a sour aftertaste, yes. So that's what the sugar does. So if you notice, I didn't put very much, but it does make a difference. So you can taste that.
Could you also put honey in place of sugar? Could you do that?
No, not in Thai curry. Imagine that. That would be weird. But you don't have to add the sugar at all, by the way.
I can't taste the sugar.
There you go, because it's not about that.
Nice.
It's not about that, okay?
This is very nice.
Okay.
Really nice. I think I like. I like.
Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do, I'm not sure it's got enough chili in it. Does it have enough pepper in it?
I think it's fine.
Okay, great. So I'm going to add the prawns now.
Okay.
We're going to cook them just for a few minutes until they are no longer translucent. Okay, when they go pink, they're cooked. So I'm just going to make sure they're completely covered in the sauce. I'm going to add some coriander.
But you haven't told us where you're from originally.
I'm Nigerian. Everybody knows that.
Did say, but I wasn't too sure.
I'm Nigerian by blood. So I've added some coriander. But I'm very global. I've lived everywhere. The African country that I'm most familiar with, obviously, is Ghana. If I said otherwise, I'd be lying. This is what I know. I've never lived in Nigeria.
Never?
Never. My father's a diplomat. We moved around the world, and you're never a diplomat in your own country.
So coriander's gone in now?
Coriander's gone in, and I think we're ready. I think we're ready. Okay, because if you can look at this, the prawn is no longer translucent. It's cooked through. So we're done. We're ready.
Good.
Okay, so I'm going to have a final taste just to make sure I'm happy. I'm happy. Yes, I am. So there we go.
Okay.
The rice is ready. The sauce is ready. I'm going to turn this off. How do we turn this off?
So there we are. I told you, exotic little kitchen. I hope you learned something about Gena West that you didn't know before. If not, stay with us. After the break, I'll ask you a couple more questions before we eat. It's uniquely, remarkably, incredibly Asanka Delight brought to you by Indomie. And in my kitchen, Gena West has done her best. She served us a lovely plate of wild rice and Thai prawn. So this is all her recipe, you know, put together from scratch. So I'm ready to enjoy it.
Fantastic.
Do you speak any local dialects? Ghanaian ones?
Hey.
So apart from Italian,
No, I do. I understand a little, but I can't speak fluently, so I wouldn't even try.
You understand a little Chi?
I understand a little Chi, yeah.
No Ga?
And even a little Ga.
Oh,
yeah.
really? We'll test.
Don't test me too hard. So look, I'm garnishing with coriander.
Okay.
And then these are almonds. Yeah, and I just use them because they look pretty.
Okay.
That's all. It's all about the way food looks, I think, sometimes. Because, you know, it can taste delicious, but if it looks awful, you don't want to eat it. At least I don't.
Almonds are known as brofu and katsi, so for those of us. And we used to crack them when we were young.
You did?
Oh, we used to crack loads of them.
Okay, so I'm just going to dish out the curry.
Can't wait. It looks very nice. We're ready to tuck in.
Fantastic.
I've worked up an appetite.
You have?
Yeah. But you've got to take that off, haven't you?
I will.
So what, this is mine or
That's yours. You can take that.
How come you've got more prawn than I've got?
Well, you can take the other plate. You can.
And you didn't bring anything to drink with this lovely meal.
No, I didn't. I love coconut water.
Oh, you should have.
And, or just plain water. I love coconut water or just plain water.
I like plain water these days.
You do?
Yeah, now that I'm trying to be like you. How much do you weigh?
It's healthy. No, I'm a heavy girl.
I don't
No, I am heavy because I have lots of muscle. Muscle is heavier than fat.
I've got lots of muscle too. But I'm sure I weigh like 20 times what you do. So thank you, Lord, for this food. Bless our bodies for your use. Amen.
Amen. Enjoy.
But you must sing for your supper. You didn't sing me anything.
Not while I'm sitting. That's a little bit.
Maybe but you can try. Oh, no, don't do that. You have to sing me something while I enjoy the food.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
She's still clicking her fingers.
Oh, lovely.
We made it nice and mellow because it's that kind of moment.
The music was nice, but the food is even nicer.
Not bad.
This is nice, even if you do say so yourself.
Yeah.
And I can taste the coconut milk.
Yes. Yeah. But it's not overpowering.
And I love the prawn. It's nice and tender. It's just lovely. This is very nice, Miss Gena.
Thank you.
You've done well. How do I say you've done well in Italian?
I was going to say, why I did, Papa? No, but
No, I should have said bon appetit first. Yeah?
Buon appetito. Buon appetito.
Oh.
Bon appetit is French.
Oh, bon appetito.
Yeah.
But this is nice. This is nice. Now let's see. Taste some rice.
I mean, I must say, you know, you could use local brown rice as well, which I think is really healthy. It's got that little crunch to the rice, and it goes beautifully.
But you know, I was a bit worried at first. I thought, oh, what is this abroad food she's come to make?
But it's not though, is it?
I pride myself in being a Ghana girl from a Tublo. So I love my banku and my fufu and my yam and that sort of thing. And I thought, ooh, white rice, ooh, prawn. But I must admit, this is lovely food.
Yeah.
No wonder Carlo loves you so much. This is lovely food, and I think you should try it. You should try it at home sometime. And all the ingredients are available in any good supermarket. So I'm going to leave you now, wishing you a great week. I hope you achieve something special. Go out and do something amazing with your life. I'm Jackie Ankra. See you again soon. Bye-bye.
Asanka Delight was brought to you by
Indomie instant noodles,